Good afternoon, my crypto degenerate friends. How are you doing this fine afternoon? I'm doing good myself. We had a nice green pump yesterday. Everything was way up. Bitcoin was up like 8%. Solana was up like 12%. I had near up like 20 some percent. Went crazy. AVAX, like all the good coins were up. Probably the small coins were probably up too. Because, well, that's probably not the reason. I don't know what the reason was, but we had this big news about Jane Street. Jane Street is a major global quantitative trading firm and market maker. I looked it up on ChatGPT, of course, because I had no idea who it was. And basically, they trade vast amounts of financial products, including equities, bonds, ETFs, options, and more cryptocurrencies. So basically, they're a market maker, right? So what is a market maker? Like a market maker, well, they provide liquidity so people can make the trades. So, if they want to, if they're providing a lot of liquidity, if a lot of people are making trades on whatever their platform is or wherever they're providing liquidity, they could manipulate the liquidity. So let's see, what other details do we have here? Right now, Jane Street, they're a liquidity provider on exchanges and trading venues. They participate in Bitcoin ETFs, and they're a trader of crypto assets and derivatives. Okay, so let's get to the point, the controversy. Do you remember Terra Luna? If you're new, you don't remember Terra Luna. If you're not new, you remember very well. Terra just crashed and burned because somebody basically attacked the protocol. Terra had a big fault in the way it was set up. They had their coin, which was Luna, and then they had like their stable coin, which was, I don't remember what it was called, USD, I don't remember, or UST, I don't remember. And the thing is that they had like a mechanism, if too many people bought or sold one and then the other one would like produce a whole bunch more. I don't know. I don't even remember. But it was like somebody attacked the stable coin because their stable coin wasn't based on actual funds. They didn't actually have dollars. It was like an algorithm. And so like somebody attacked the stable coin by, I don't know, like selling a whole bunch or shorting it or something. And that caused Luna, the other coin, to mass produce. So it was like mass producing to infinity. Luna's destroying the value of the Luna coin. Anyways, Luna went bankrupt. The owner, I don't know, I think he went to jail. Do Kwon, he was like in hiding. I don't know, it was just a whole big scandal. I don't even know if this guy did anything wrong purposely. But basically, they say, Terra says that this was all the fault of Jane Street. They made... They sued, it's a lawsuit against Jane Street. And basically they say that Jane Street used non-public confidential information from insiders at Terraform, the company that was running Terra, Luna, to trade ahead of big liquidity moves during May of 2022. A wallet allegedly linked to Jane Street withdrew large amounts of Terra shortly after Terraform did, before the public knew about critical liquidity changes. This behavior profited Jane Street while other investors suffered losses as Terra USD lost its dollar peg and Luna collapsed. This is what I was talking about. Luna collapsed. It just printed to infinity. I lost money, not that much, like 1,000, but 1,000 is a lot, right? But everything was going up at the time. So, overall it wasn't that bad. I had one of my cousins, he put like almost all of his money in Luna. A lot of people had all their money in Luna because Luna was doing very well, very, very well. And it was just terrible. It just crashed and burned. Everyone lost their money. So basically, the collapse of Terra wiped out roughly $40 billion in the market value and contributed to a broader market turndown. So Jane Street denies the allegations, stating the lawsuit is an attempt to shift blame for Terra's collapse, which they attributed to internal failures and fraud at Terra, and intends to defend itself in court. See, what I understood wasn't that it was fraud. It was just there was a weakness in the way they had these two coins, these two projects set up together, and somebody figured it out and they attacked it, and it crashed and burned. So whoever attacked it made big time money. So I don't know. They're saying this is Jane Street that did it. I don't know. So basically now people in the crypto community are calling for regulatory scrutiny, including accusations that large trading firms may influence Bitcoin price dynamics, Rumors, especially on social media, linking Jane Street to recurring price patterns like the so-called 10 a.m. drop in Bitcoin trading. Like it always goes down at 10 a.m. because of Jane Street doing something. So this is, this is speculative. We don't know if that's the actual truth. And, this whole time, the past few months, everyone's been saying it's manipulated, the big boys, somebody's manipulating so that crypto doesn't go up, so it goes down so they can buy it cheap. Anyways, so this could be one of those people that are manipulating. If they're doing it, we really don't know. So this causes regulatory concerns, market structure complexities, blah, 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 blah. Investor trust issues. Now that's important. Investor trust issues. Like we had that big drop in October 10th last year also. And people are blaming Binance. They're blaming market makers. So for serious investors, it's like a trust issue. Like, is crypto reliable? Can I invest in crypto or am I going to get wiped out? So that's the whole big story on this Jane, what was it called? Jane Street. In case you were wondering, if you heard about it and you know exactly what was going on, that's kind of the big story. So let's check out some other news today. What's going on in crypto land? Oh yeah, so I put this up to remind myself to talk about Jane Street. Luca says, is this the crypto market without Jane Street? And we have everything that happened yesterday. Cardano was up 20% yesterday. XRP 10%, Link 16%. Yeah, I mean it was a beautiful green day. I have liked everything getting real cheap so that I can buy more, but at some point it's got to stop going down and it's got to go up because you're just putting more money in and you're never making money if it's never going up. Then you're never taking anything out. So at some point I would be happy. I'd be very happy for it to start going up. I could put more money in. It might be a good idea, but you got to balance your risk. Got to keep some cash. Keep some in crypto is very, very risky. Even though it's super low, you never know. It could go even lower. Anyways, so next. Breaking MetaMask and MasterCard. Crypto just got more real. MetaMask, in collaboration with MasterCard, has launched a crypto debit card in the US. Now you can swipe your wallet balance anywhere MasterCard is accepted. So I'm assuming if you've got a MetaMask wallet on your phone, something like that, then you can use it to pay. I don't know exactly the setup here. Just that they've got a deal with MasterCard, so you can use crypto funds, but there's no details here. So, but hey, bullish for crypto. Morgan Stanley is going full stack crypto. One of the world's largest wealth platforms with 9.3 trillion in client assets confirmed plans to let E-Trade users buy and sell spot crypto. But the bigger signal is what come next: native custody, exchange infrastructure, and eventually lending and yield. So you're going to be able to do everything on their platform, Morgan Stanley. That's really big news. I mean, crypto is really going mainstream, guys. It's really going mainstream. We're going to get so rich. If you guys are holding good altcoins, we're going to get so rich. Because just have some patience. I mean, unless things just don't go up, no matter what happens. Unless the value just doesn't go up, no matter how much adoption we get, but I just don't see that happening. So we have a Mark Chadwick here saying that if this is true, something biblical is about to happen to crypto. That is saying 12.2 trillion in short-term T-bills hitting the system in 6 to 7 months. So let's compare. For COVID QE, it was 4.8 trillion in 2 years. So this is 2.5 times bigger. 2.5 times more liquidity money that they're going to put into the system. And then he's saying, like, last time the altcoins went from, some went up to 1,000%, some even to 13,000%. So what, 1,000x is like a 10x. 1,000% is a 10x, right? Because 100%, 1,000 is like a 10x. 13,000 is like 130x. So he's saying, we got everything coming. We got the laws, we've got the adoption, we've got the liquidity. Everything is coming for a super mega pump. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, or it's going to happen when we expect it to happen. Just be patient. Good day to remind everyone that the Genius doesn't take effect until November of this year at the earliest. We're talking about the Genius Act, the stablecoins act that gives regularity to stablecoins, allowing all the big boys to come in and not be worried. So that means that this law is not necessarily going to affect us this year. We might have to wait till the end of the year or till next year. So we have a post here that was reposted by 𝗪𝗂𝗃, the official account. It says reason to believe. So we're talking about 𝗪𝗂𝗃, leader in RWA tokenization. I don't think they're the leader, but I know they've got a lot going on. Leader in Web3 gaming, leader in Web3 loyalty, builders stronger than ever, hundreds of apps deployed from build games. Team 1 hitting escape velocity. Avery has an absurd VO2 max RN. Now this last one, I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but believe. Yeah, but 𝗪𝗃 is very big in gaming. There's also chains that are gaming specific. Gala built their own game chain, and then there's, my goodness, it's been so long. I haven't looked at it in so long. I don't even remember the chains. What was that? 𝗪𝗿𝗄𝗋𝗃. 𝗪𝗿𝗄𝗋𝗃 is the biggest one, and then there's Ronin. These are two very big chains. If the bull market comes back, if gaming comes back, those chains will do very well. But Avalanche, which is an all-purpose chain, also is very big in gaming. I don't know if they're actually bigger than those guys. I think 𝗪𝗿𝗃 is the biggest one in gaming. 𝘃𝗶𝗿𝗁𝗍𝗍 says, crypto regulation in retail, who will it really benefit? Okay, so we got a conversation here with Charles. It's actually pretty interesting. She put a clip up, and I'm just going to play like at least a good portion of it because I thought it was really interesting to listen to. All the credit here to Wendy O and Charles from Cardano. And let's see what they have to say.
It feels like this industry, in my personal opinion, was created for the people, by the people, at the creation of Bitcoin, and then other projects kind of stem from that, like Cardano, to further empower people. And it feels like we were created to kind of get away from the predatory practices of the banking industry and everything else that was happening. And then the banking industry, TradFi, just kind of came in and just kind of effed everybody. Right. And where retail is just getting screwed. And I have very strong feelings about what's happening with the crypto market structure. I feel that the people that are sitting at the White House should be advocating a little bit more for retail. I'm a big advocate of the revision of the accredited investor law because I think it's further perpetuates a wealth gap in America. And crypto should be a solution to that, but we're not really seeing that happen. What are your thoughts on that?
The White House doesn't give a flying fuck. I spent a big chunk of last year trying really hard to push policy in a very productive direction. I took dozens of meetings, dozens of meals with senators and congressmen, and engaged where and when I could with the White House. But first off, with respect to policy from this White House, it's whoever pays the most money, whether it be Venezuela, where they give no-bid contracts to the oil side to large donors, or the crypto inner circle, where everybody has 8-figure checks they've cut. These are not merit-based positions. These are positions based on proximity and loyalty. And that's not how you regulate an industry. You have to have a principle-based approach. And the first step was to poll the industry and ask them what they want by category. So go talk to the exchanges and the DEXs and the wallet makers and the layer ones and the layer twos. And then the second step is to talk around what do we need to update and modernize U.S. law. And I'm glad you mentioned accredited investors. That's not just the only thing. The whole definition of a security should be updated. And there should be new categories for digital securities where you can use blockchain-based disclosure. Because right now what's happening is securities law sucks. So no one wants to be a security. So what they did is they went over to the CFTC and say, let's make the CFTC a mini SEC. And then make them the regulator. Like somehow that will magically just work and everything will be great. No, you'll just create 2 monsters instead of 1 monster. Fix the problem at the Securities Exchange Commission, update and modernize securities law so we don't regulate this industry with a law passed 93 years ago while FDR was president, with JFK's dad as the first chairman. I mean, that's...
Okay, so Charles is basically saying this, everything is outdated. They're trying to, with the Clarity Act, they're trying to put like a kind of like a Band-Aid on the situation, having 2 regulators regulate, and these governing bodies aren't really ideal for the crypto industry. Like they need to make all new laws, and he's saying that the White House doesn't really care that much about crypto because Wendy O is saying like, this was made by the people for the people, And now we got the big institutions coming in, like, do they really care about the people? It's like we're handing this over to them, and Charles is saying the White House they don't care. So apparently they're not on the same page. Maybe, I don't know. Well, this is Charles' viewpoint, and maybe the White House or the people that are running the crypto show aren't paying enough attention to the people down in the trenches. Maybe they're paying too much attention to the banks or the big corporations. I mean, who knows? But it's interesting to get a first-person perspective from someone who's there and who's been talking to them. And he said that he's no longer involved, like they're not talking with him anymore. But anyways, it's a good interview. It's nice to hear from somebody who knows about crypto. Obviously, the founder of Cardano knows a lot. And that was a clip from 𝘃𝗶𝗁𝗍𝗍. She's a great influencer, or whatever you want to call her, crypto girl. Okay, so Indiana passes pro-Bitcoin in Bill HB 1042, protecting Bitcoin rights, banning discriminatory crypto taxation, and allowing digital assets to be included in state retirement portfolios. That's great. More adoption news for Bitcoin and crypto. Bitcoin ETFs just saw the first day of more than 500 million net inflows in 3 weeks. So yeah, it's like Wall Street, they're the same as retail. Like, it goes up, they get FOMO, they all buy. It crashes, they all sell. I mean, we just have more people in the party joining the party now. I don't know if this is with institutional adoption, it's supposed to get more, like, less volatile. It's supposed to be more calm, And I just have this feeling that it's just gonna be a bigger amount of what it already is, which is very volatile. So Solana spot ETFs saw 8 million net inflows this week, majorly led by 𝘃𝗏𝗁. Solana ETF, I think that's the ETF that's performed kind of like the best. I think XRP also has done pretty well. But in terms of net inflows, Solana has been like the best ETF. Like, it's hardly had any outflows, even with a lot of red days in a row and all that. So that's why I'm very, very, very bullish on Solana, because not only is it kind of leading like the crypto blockchains in terms of usage and everything, but it's also getting heavily picked up by like Wall Street. Like, people, if you look at crypto and you say, okay, well, Bitcoin costs this much and Ethereum costs this much, what's the next big opportunity? And I think that's Solana. So big institutions are going to come into Solana, and they're going to be buying up Solana, in my opinion. The House of Crypto says so much is aligning. Max Fear was reached. The Clarity Act early next week. Supposedly, the Clarity Act is going to be approved at the beginning of March. Liquidity flooding the system through T-bills, 2.5x bigger than COVID stimulus. Are you pumped? So yeah, that's like what the other guy was saying, that we're going to get some serious stimulus. We're going to get some serious money flowing into the system, liquidity, and that's going to push all risk assets up. So, man, stuff is going to be crazy soon, probably. And then if things start going up, how crypto is, people are going to get FOMO, and it's going to go crazy. The bearishness this year, last year has just been, the beginning of this year and last year has just made no sense at all. Okay, so we're looking at a graph here of, where we are at in the crypto cycle. So this guy, Crypto Tony, says that we are not at the point of anxiety and then denial, panic going down. We are actually at the point of disbelief, where we're going to start going up. And I agree because it just doesn't make sense. Like, the market can be irrationally bearish for only so long, but everything that's happening, you can't just ignore it too long. It just doesn't make sense. Google searches for how to buy Bitcoin are now at a 5-year high. Yay, that just totally flipped within a week. A week ago, it was like all-time low. Now it's like all-time high. Good morning, legends. Bears stepped in last night at resistance, and at this point, bulls look exhausted. Reset today before we continue up. Yeah, let's hope we continue up. So this is from Simon Dedick. My biggest learning over the last years in crypto, 99% of alpha is simply not doing something stupid, not the perfect entry, not the secret call, not the insider information everyone is looking for, just not chasing narratives, not over leveraging, not rotating into garbage out of FOMO. So that's when the real opportunity appears. You have the capital and conviction to go all in. Nothing's worse than missing that one real opportunity we're all here for. I agree. Like alpha, I just say, just follow the news. Like, just see what's going on day in and day out. Maybe not every single day, but a few times a week or a couple times a week. Just follow news. Just, see what's going on. And that's it. Don't be like obsessing over projects, because you're not going to be able to find you're not going to be able to guess the right project. You're not going to be able to research your way to the right project. Just look at what coins are getting used, what coins have the best adoption. You can make some small bets if you want, some real degen bets. But sit in front of your computer 24/7 is not going to make you a better crypto investor. Let's end with a meme here. Bitcoin pumps 5% after a 50% drawdown, and this is me. I don't know who this is. I don't know if this is like an actor. Guy's liquor bottle, cigar, old car. Nice, very nice. Actually, this looks familiar. This looks like it's... Nah, never mind. Okay, well, that's it for today, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful afternoon. Enjoy your life, enjoy your family, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.